come up with that dog shit pick. What the fuck were we thinking? What the fuck were you thinking?
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Jimnasum. As always, it is me, XFL Jim. And we are joined by the man himself. It is Chase Lupine Fiasco Sessoms, a.k.a. the Wolf of Oakland. Chase, hit the pose.
For NASCAR, even though NASCAR's not here yet.
Boom. Boom. That's for NASCAR right there.
That's for NASCAR.
Hey, we got Eric in the chat, though. Eric, my man, we're starting off the show talking a little bit of Week 1 college football. Chase, I'm going to go through a couple games. I want you to give your take on these games in as many or as few words as possible. Starting off, Central Michigan 66, CCSU 10.
Just utter domination. What you expect out of a good Central Michigan team playing against CCSU?
You're damn right. You're goddamn right. NC State 38, Western Carolina 21.
Wow. Wow. That's my one big word is wow. Can't believe it.
Did not look good. I caught a little bit of this one. I watched it back too. NC State potentially in trouble. Grayson McCall did not look good passing downfield.
And they're pretty reliant on just him being Big Bird and making stuff happen. And I don't know if Big Bird is going to do the trick this year.
Eric chiming in, Billy Napier, happiest guy in Florida after FSU losing. I actually think Miami fans are the happiest people in Florida right now.
That's true. They've got a lot to smile about because their rivals went down.
Arkansas 70, UAPB, Arkansas Pine Bluff 0.
I didn't expect this, to be honest. We pitched a perfect game. 10 possessions, 10 touchdowns. Every single one of it was like a beat the computer on college football kind of beat down. Like on rookie level.
Yeah, it's like when your team loses a matchup, so you go into NCAA 25 now, and you set the computer to absolute easy mode, and you just obliterate them.
Yeah, to like freshman mode, and then you just go ahead and just, yeah.
Up next, Coastal Carolina 55, Jacksonville State 27.
Did not expect this, and it was a thorough ass beating. The score wasn't even really that close, at the end. I mean, I don't know what to think because I was really high on Jack State here to begin, before the season started. So I don't know what's going on, or if they can right the ship, or if they just got rated too hard from the transfer portal.
I think they can right the ship. I think we have to kind of adjust what righting the ship and our expectations for Jacksonville State might be.
Right, because I thought they were like compete with Liberty for the conference, kind of right the ship.
And I don't know if anyone is going to be able to actually compete with Liberty in that conference.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't think that's the case.
Eric's right. Coastal won the trenches. Didn't see that coming. I also think we might need to, I personally, but all of us might need to sit back and maybe, this might be an overreaction to Week 1. We might need to admit, Tim Beck might have Coastal Carolina in a pretty good spot.
Let's not jump the gun. Let's not jump the gun.
That's potentially a Week 1 overreaction, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Anything else from Thursday? Oh, yeah. Colorado 31, North Dakota State 26.
Man, it's going to be a long season for Colorado, I think. It's going to be a long season for Shedeur. Hopefully him and Travis Hunter don't get horribly, horribly injured and soon.
I think especially if Shedeur goes down, that team's done. If Travis Hunter goes down, they're pretty cooked.
Yeah. Yeah, considering he's playing about 120 snaps a game, yeah.
Good showing from North Dakota State in that one, too. They're going to have a very fun FCS season. North Carolina 19, Minnesota 17.
Fucking kickers, man. Fucking kickers. How about this for your reminder that there are only roughly 8 good place kickers on planet Earth at any given time, and they all play in the NFL. Maybe
Also,
you know what? Maybe one of them doesn't play in the NFL. He just sits around at the bar and he's like, guys, I could do that. Listen, I could just play in the NFL. I could go out bang 70-yarders, just no problem.
it also does suck that Max Johnson's out for the season. I hate injuries.
It does. That's unfortunate.
And
I thought Minnesota looked fairly good. You know, they kind of put it together, even though I feel like that fifth-year quarterback that they brought in from New Hampshire isn't really. He's not exactly the truth or anything, but I think they'll be in a good shape.
The issue with Minnesota is for like the last 3 years, their defense has been great, but their offense just hasn't been able to like do anything. And that remains the case this year. I still don't believe North Carolina has a good defense, so that's not really positive for Minnesota going forward when they're going to be facing better defenses than this. I saw some people calling for PJ Fleck. No.
If that kicker makes that kick, then is that conversation even relevant? I don't think so, because you just won a non-conference game against an ACC team. That's
Also, it is hilarious. I listened to the Shutdown Fullcast. They mentioned Mac Brown looks like an energy vampire at the end of these games. Did you see his handshake with PJ Fleck?
I didn't. Was it
he
just
like
lip?
Brings him in super hard and just like puts his nose right into his nape and just like sucks all the life out of him.
Okay, I like it. Nothing like a good energy vampire reference.
Eric is chiming in the chat. Fleck wanted the UCLA job, and a little birdie told me that the locker room, he is starting to lose it. Ooh. And I feel like if a coach like PJ Fleck is losing the locker room, that's it. That's you're cooked.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, Michigan State 16, Florida Atlantic 10.
Michigan State, all right. We figured that would be a tough game for them because Florida Atlantic is not bad, you know.
Eric's asking why he's getting ads watching this. Twitch actually just does ads automatically, so I apologize.
Yeah.
That's just Twitch.
Sorry for that.
Also, my take for Michigan State, Florida Atlantic, stop sliding so damn late.
Oh, that was that game, wasn't it?
That was that game.
Where the guy kept sliding late and drawing penalty after penalty.
Yep, he's going to die out there.
Someone's going to pop him one really good one. He's going to wish he didn't do that.
On to Saturday. Georgia 34, Clemson 3.
Slow cooked. Crock potted. Just complete. It feels so good. Like that win felt like warm butterscotch just dripping all over me. It was like melted chocolate dripping on gold is what that was.
It's a heaping serving of validation for you.
Yeah, it was. Clemson on the way out, man. Cade Klubnik, not what they think he is at all. But to be fair, DJU wasn't what they thought, isn't what anybody thought he was going to be.
Clemson, I think, is a team. So Dabo refusing to play the transfer portal at all. Like, you don't even need to do, like, Georgia took transfers in. They took, 6 transfers?
Yeah.
Clemson could do so much if they just took in, 8 guys.
Or fucked with NIL at all.
Yeah. Did anything like that. And Dabo sticking by his guys Clemson's in this weird spot. I still fully believe they can compete for the ACC. We've seen what the ACC is. It's really Miami and everyone else. I fully believe Clemson's defense can have them competing for the ACC. But if they make the playoffs, we already know what's going to happen.
Yeah, they'll easily get outscored. The Clemson defense, I will give them, they were decent for a half.
I think the defense is legit. It's just, when your offense is doing literally nothing,
yeah,
it's hard.
I don't know why they even let that kid throw the ball. They should be running the ball every single down and be trying to win these games 7-0.
They should be Iowa. Just be Iowa.
They should be Iowa. Just be Iowa.
Speaking of which, Iowa 40, Illinois State 0.
Whoo, sweat that under. Sweat that under big
Didn't
time.
think you were going to sweat it after the first half. Because what was it, 6-0?
Yeah, it was 6-0 at halftime. And I was like, oh, we are so back. And then I fell asleep. And I got a message from you that was like, "Oh, so that was a little bit of a sweat on that under." I was like, "Holy shit! It show enough was, Jim. Show enough was."
This is kind of, you're feeling good. It is just Illinois State, but still, Iowa's defense, of course, pitches a perfect game. The offense scoring 40 against anybody in recent history is hopeful. It makes me very excited for the Cyhawk game this week.
Man, have you seen that total?
Yeah.
Sub 40. When's the last time we... Yeah, it's real... It's my kind of gross.
That game's always gross, though.
Do we still play the under?
I think we have to insult... That game's always disgusting.
Because it's hitting 13 of the last 14.
Yes.
Like, you're not a fool if you bet the under, even though that line... I'm only comfortable betting overs when the total is about 3 points in Iowa games.
I forget. They got sub 20 a couple times last year, and we still hit the under.
Still hit.
Penn State 34, West Virginia 12, and Penn State's offense looks super fun. I love Andy Kotelnicki.
And, man, was it Pat McAfee pulled the wool over people's eyes, told all these kids to believe they moved the line. They didn't even need to move the line because it was just a thorough ass kicking. I think if they had gotten this game at night in Morgantown, it might have been a little bit different. Maybe.
They finished it at night because it was a huge weather delay.
Yeah, but at that time, I'm sure. How many people do you think actually came back from that weather delay?
So little people. So
few. So few.
This is also just what Penn State does. They beat all the teams they're supposed to be. I'm excited to see the way the offense looked. At least made me hopefully excited to see Penn State against like a USC, Oregon, Ohio State, or Michigan. I'm excited to see what they can do. Where last year I was like, they're just not going to win those games. This year, maybe I have a hope.
Yeah, that's fair.
Vanderbilt 34, Virginia Tech 27. Diego Pavia is the fucking truth.
Man, I was on the wrong side of this one and could not give a fuck. Go
Doors.
Go Doors. Anchor down.
God damn it. I might be Vanderbilt might be my falling in love with this year team. I might be like all in on Vanderbilt.
That's cool. That's cool. That's the good thing is like the going 6-6 and hitting a bowl game is like the pinnacle of being in on the Doors too. That's
what I was gonna say. There's like zero pressure. If they're just my tagline is Vanderbilt, surprisingly feisty this year.
Surprisingly feisty.
They're feisty, dude. I can't remember the last time I've said Vanderbilt's been feisty.
It's been a minute. It's been a minute since they've been feisty.
It's been a damn minute. Tennessee 69, Chattanooga 3. I just want to take this one to say Tennessee's quarterback, Nico.
Looks pretty good.
He looks so good.
Looks pretty good.
And Josh Heupel, I already did put a future on Tennessee to win the Natty, and I put a future on Nico to win the Heisman.
I wonder about their depth, though, because, I mean, they put up a whole bunch of points before halftime, and then in the second half, they didn't really score very much.
Their depth is probably a little bit concerning. They're probably maybe a class or two away from being able to compete with, like, a pretty still good recruiting to compete with, like, Alabama, and I don't know if anybody's competing with Georgia for depth.
I don't think that anybody's going to compete with that. They are deep.
Oklahoma State 44, South Dakota State 20. I want to take this to say Oklahoma State, this is a game in previous years they probably end up losing, and they didn't even go crazy running Ollie Gordon in this one.
Yeah.
So
it's good. Setting up for what could be a pretty good game next week.
I'm excited.
We'll see.
UTSA 28, Kennesaw State 16. Kennesaw State put up a damn fight, which I didn't think they had in them.
Plucky, some might say. A plucky Kennesaw State. Because we picked, or at least I picked Kennesaw State to go 0 for this season. A cool 0 for 12. So was that like their one show of like force before they finally drop off, or do you think that they're plucky?
I think it depends. We'll see how UTSA fully looks in the post Frank Harris era next week. But they could be plucky.
Was it McCown threw for like 340 yards in that
Yeah.
game? You know, so I mean, he looks decent, but then again, how good is Kennesaw?
Right. Texas 52, Colorado State 0. Texas looks really good.
Yeah, that's about.
Yeah.
Even Arch Manning got playing time.
Texas looks good. Eastern Michigan 28, UMass 14. Who was UMass to be favored?
Who was UMass to be laying 2.5 in that game?
And you know what that means, Chase. So we got 2 directional out of 3 getting the win. That's what we get. That's what you get.
That's beautiful.
2 out of 3, you get that much.
I like it. And hey, one of the third one covered.
Yeah, So in a way,
3-0
all
ATS.
3 of them won.
3-0 ATS.
Damn right. Northwestern 13, Miami of Ohio 6. Taking this to say Northwestern's not going to be good. Miami of Ohio is a little rough. Northwestern might have a good defense. Northwestern's stadium and the viewing experience, it's a very pretty, like very scenic look. I kind of wish they would keep it. I know they won't. It only holds 15,000 people, but I kind of wish selfishly that they would keep it.
Right.
It's very pretty.
I didn't get a chance to check it out. I'm gonna have to check out their next home game.
Syracuse 38, Ohio 22. Syracuse is gonna be. They're gonna get somebody. They got a good system going.
They might sneakily be a wagon with Kyle McCord at quarterback.
He looked good. He
looked really good,
dude.
The sneaky wagons. Those are the kind of wagons that I like. The ones that are sneakily wagons.
We might have.
You're like, what is this? What is this? Is this a car? Is this a van? No, it's a wagon. A sneaky wagon.
I've been wanting to be mad at Syracuse for getting rid of Dino, but I might be getting back in. They're sucking me back in.
Nothing wrong with that. It's okay. That just means you're living your truth.
Miami, Florida 41, Florida 17, and the Gators are the same team that they were last year. They stink. What an ass smacking.
Yeah, thorough ass smacking, dude. Billy Napier has to be at the top of the list of first coach to be fired odds now, right?
Yeah, when you get Dan Mullen retweeting people saying how good of a job he did.
Right. Yeah. Dan Mullen didn't get his ass smacked in the opener ever.
Dan Mullen apparently also, I forgot about this, his first 2 seasons, he went to New Year's Six Bowls.
Yeah. Yeah, he did.
And then just had one dip his last season, which was the COVID year.
Yeah. When you lose to Eli Drinkowitz and Eli Drinkowitz clowns on you, though, like,
it's tough.
That's tough to handle. Yeah.
Who does Florida go after is what I want to ask you.
Oh, God, I don't know. I got to think of I don't know who the hot name is going to be this season yet. Like, what mid-major guy is going? It's either that or they go after a coordinator, right?
I think they've been shifting to going to coordinators.
Because they've gone after the mid-major coach now with Billy Napier.
Yeah.
With Mullen, they went after another established head coach at a SEC school.
Do you think they try and get Lane Kiffin?
I could see it. I wouldn't want to go to Florida, though. Florida fires coaches.
Yeah, they do. Yeah,
they don't put up with shit.
Nebraska 40, UTEP 7. Just wanted to say, Dylan Raiola, I will declare it here in hot take scenario fashion. I will declare Dylan Raiola already, after one game watching him, the best downfield passer that Nebraska has had in 30-plus years.
And he sort of looks like Patrick Mahomes.
He sort of looks like Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
I'm not calling him the best quarterback for Nebraska the past 30 years, but the best downfield
passer. Yeah.
And I don't know if that's debatable.
I don't think it is.
Boise State 56, Georgia Southern 45.
Homeboy went crazy in this game. Was it Gentry? Gentry, who ran for like 6 touchdowns and 200 and something yards. Good night. That's also like a NCAA football kind of a stat line.
And we'll be talking about them later, but if Oregon plays like they did week 1, week 2 when they play Boise.
Because they have to go to
beating
Boise for that
ass.
game, right?
I don't remember off the top of my head.
I'm pretty certain Boise went to them last year, so they got to play in Boise this year.
You, sir. No, it's at Oregon.
Okay. They were at Boise
Still,
last year then.
Still.
Yeah.
Which one do I have right here? South Carolina 23, ODU 19. South Carolina, don't lose to ODU. Good job not losing to ODU, but
embarrassing.
They might be the worst team in the SEC.
You can't default say it's Vanderbilt, so
they might be South Carolina.
Could be.
Poor Beamer.
Them or Florida.
I think Florida's going to be. No, they're just bad. They're real bad.
They might not make a bowl game, man.
North Texas 52, South Alabama 38. Go North Texas.
Look out for North Texas, man. Look out for North Texas because they looked really good. They could have fucked that game all up, and they came back and were just moving the ball like crazy. The offense was clicking in week 1. They looked really good. Look out for North Texas.
Also, look out for Nevada. Nevada 28, Troy 26. Watch out for Nevada.
A team from the West going east, which is traditionally we fade. Troy, a team that traditionally we kind of root for and we think is going to be pretty good.
Nevada, a team that we've been fading for like a year and a half now.
Yeah, and they just had a good game against SMU too in week 0. So. Way to go, Nevada.
Arkansas State 34, Central Arkansas 31. Arkansas State loses this game if it's not for a ref calling what they called originally as an incomplete pass in the end zone. They overturned it, giving Arkansas State the win. Probably don't lose to Central Arkansas week 1.
No. That's a good FCS program.
They are.
Though. Yeah.
But also, if we've learned anything from Arkansas State, don't take anything away from week 1 or 2.
No.
They need to have a good Butch Jones cry, and then the season fully starts for them.
Let Butch weep, and once Butch weeps, that's when it's stewed to perfection.
UNLV 27, Houston 7.
Going to be tough times for Willie Fritz, I think.
Speaking of hot names of the coach, Barry Odom. Hot name.
Yeah, he would be a hot name. He's a very hot name.
It must be a big ass rebuild in Houston.
Yeah, he apparently didn't bring a lot of Tulane with him.
Hand up to me. Sam Houston 34, Rice 14. If you guys listened to the previews, I was very high on Rice. Boy, was I wrong. But also, maybe next week Rice wins and scores a bajillion points. We could say it every week. I was wrong about Rice. Crazy.
It was crazy to think that Rice was going to be something. I learned a couple years ago, like, just don't. It doesn't matter what the spot is. Just fade Rice. Just always fade Rice.
I don't understand. But the very next week they could be something. I don't understand this Rice team. I was foolish for thinking I did understand this Rice team. I'm gonna detach my wagon from this owl, and I will enjoy watching Rice when they are fun. They are a team of nothing but chaos, and I can't be a part of it.
Just stay away. They
Texas
say Rice,
Tech,
you say no thank you.
No thank you. Texas Tech 52, Abilene Christian 51.
God, I wanted them to get him. I wanted them to get him so bad. Once again, Abilene Christian, not a bad FCS program by any means.
This is just Texas Tech not having any defense still.
No.
Again.
No.
More. Yeah. The more things change, the more they stay the same, I guess.
Yep.
Notre Dame 23, Texas A&M 13. This was our live stream game. We watched this one. Eric would like me to tell you that Connor Wegman is maybe one of the worst quarterbacks in FBS.
I feel like that's it is kind of sad that that's the main takeaway from this game is that Connor Wegman is terrible and not the answer at quarterback for A&M. And if he is the answer at quarterback for them going forward, like 5-7. 5-7.
The biggest takeaway for me was how Notre Dame's offensive line played. Because I still think Texas A&M will be able to get by on their defense a decent amount. I still believe in their defense. I have to think Connor Wegman is at least passable. He looked fine in his starts last year. So I have to figure he's at least like a passable quarterback. He looked really bad.
He looked incredibly bad. Like maybe it was jitters. Maybe it's the new system. He's still getting used to it, but
Michigan 30, Fresno State 10. Fresno State was in this. This was a dogfight, if not for a late pick 6.
Yeah. I'm sure they covered too, because the spread had to be huge.
Michigan will be, so not the team they've been the last couple years, but think about 4 years ago, Michigan, like Cade McNamara, Michigan, where still really strong defense, but the offense could barely do much. Like they were very basic, run the ball,
right.
Not really passing. That's what this Michigan team is. They probably go 8-4, which is fine.
Yeah.
Rebuild. It's fine.
Yeah, that's still a decent bowl game. That's like the Citrus Bowl.
Yeah. UCLA 16, Hawaii 13. God! The Rainbow Warriors had a shot. UCLA is going to be bad.
Yeah.
UCLA is going to be really, really bad. God, the Rainbow War, they had a shot. They were playing like crap in parts of this game. Oregon 24, Idaho 14. Oregon's offensive line looked really not good against Idaho's a decent FCS school. Don't get me wrong, but you're Oregon. This is not the Oregon we saw last year.
No, they're not. I guess the one big difference is Dylan Gabriel, but he even had a good day. Like he had a good day throwing the ball too. Like, but it's all like short passes and everything. I don't know. I don't. How do you explain this score? Because I don't know.
Offensive line getting blown up for Oregon. Dylan Gabriel did get sacked a decent amount. He held on to the so like Bo Nix's big thing last year is he was really good at getting rid of the ball quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Dylan Gabriel not doing that. Also, he is very short. And also, Oregon's defense was fine, but it's still Idaho. But the big thing for me was Oregon's offensive line looking not great against Idaho.
Right.
Come on, guys. Come on. JMU 30, Charlotte 7. Shout out Biff Poggi. He's going to be disrespected another week.
Yeah. Yeah, they were missing like half their starters, so you kind of knew that one was going to be rough.
Georgia Tech 35, Georgia State 12. Georgia Tech's, hey, they're fine. They're good.
Sneakily a wagon. Already 2-0.
Yes. Arizona 61, New Mexico 39. Good score. Good game. Nice job, Arizona.
Yeah, and that one kid put up, once again, NCAA 25 numbers.
That receiver?
Yeah. Was it Tiafo something?
Yeah, because it's Noah Fafita looked really good, and then we're terrible with names, and I apologize for that. What was the guy's name? Tetaroa McMillan.
Tetaroa McMillan. There we go.
10 receptions for 304 yards and 4 touchdowns. He averaged 30 yards a reception.
School records, all of those.
Yes. Noah Fafita, 19 for 31, 422 yards, 4 touchdowns, all to Tetaroa, and 1 interception.
Yeah. So if you're wondering who to guard next week, that kid.
Arizona State 48, Wyoming 7.
Didn't see that coming at all.
You, me, and Eric were extremely wrong on this one. I don't know if this is Wyoming being worse than we thought or Arizona State being way above what I had them projected at.
I kind of thought that they were going to be sucking hind left tit with the Big 12, and it turns out
sneaky
could be sneaky good. Who knows?
USC 27, LSU 20.
I'm mad at myself for this game, Jim. Do you know why I'm mad at myself?
Took
LSU in the points. Team from the East going west across the Rockies into Las Vegas of all places. Mm-hmm. That was a bad spot. That was a bad spot to take LSU.
Chase, can you answer for me the last year that LSU won a season opener?
I thought they won last year, didn't they? No, because they lost to Florida State. Was it not 2 years ago?
Nope.
3 years ago?
Nope.
4 years ago?
4 years ago? What year? What season was that? That would have been.
I swear they beat.
No.
5 years ago.
2019.
5 years ago.
The season they went undefeated and Joe Burrow won the Heisman. They won the Natty. Was the last season they've won a season opener.
I didn't realize that. I would have thought that they had.
I could go through them real quick because so some of that a chunk of that's been Brian Kelly, who he was outcoached by Lincoln Riley. Shout out USC for having a defense. That defense actually looked good.
There were a whole lot less points being scored in that game, though. But
I had the over. Shout out me for being wrong. That's fine.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, though. Both those quarterbacks looked pretty damn good.
Mm-hmm.
The wide receiver crew at LSU once again is going to be sick. That kid Lacey he was just carving him up in the first half.
I don't know. I feel like we're kind of wasting LSU having great quarterbacks and receivers on not good defense and not a lot happening. So they might make the playoffs, but I don't favor them against Ole Miss. I don't favor them against Alabama, and maybe Oklahoma gets them. Like, I don't know.
Jesus, take the over in that Ole Miss game.
Yeah, take the over in that one. So the Ole Miss season openers, USC was a loss this year. Florida State last year was a loss. In 2022, they lost to Florida State again.
Yeah.
That wasn't even a great Florida State team.
That was what Kelly was that Brian Kelly's first year?
Yes, I believe so.
Yeah, they looked real bad in that game.
2021, they lost to UCLA. That crazy comeback, I believe.
That's right.
One of the crazy comebacks. And then 2020, they lost to Mississippi State. Remember, that was Mike Leach's first game in the SEC.
Okay.
And they set the SEC passing record against LSU.
We miss you every day, Mike Leach.
And Bo Pelini got fired the next day because he was the DC for LSU that season. Oh, I remember.
Okay.
I remember.
Okay. You remember fondly.
I remember very fondly. That was, it felt so good. It felt very cathartic. And then the last game of week 1, Boston College 28, Florida State 13. I think we just need to accept it. Florida State is not a good team. Mike Norvell has had one really good season at Florida State, if you look at it. And that's it.
And then it got tragically ended short before he could actually do something with that good season. So I don't know. Like let's give Boston College some credit because Boston College played them tough last year. Like I really don't think that this is like a fluke for Boston College. I think you're going to see a Boston College team that could win maybe 8 games in this ACC.
This ACC is very gettable for almost anybody. Miami's the only one that really looked good, but they also played a Florida team who I think is absolutely defeated.
Yeah, I think it's a year for your like who you would consider like your second tiers in the ACC to actually get up and win this thing. Like I think that Louisville is live. I think that Georgia Tech is live. I think that Boston College is live. I think that there are other, it could be Syracuse could be live. I think it wouldn't be a shock to me if any one of those 4 teams that I named, especially Louisville, managed to win the ACC.
That'd be fun. That'd be very, very fun. I'd be here for it. Chase, are you ready to see what the AP Top 25 has for us?
Let's go.
Okay, receiving votes, 1 vote, Colorado.
That was one rider in Colorado.
Also 1 vote, UNLV.
That was a deserved vote. Yep. They need more votes than that. They should be getting a lot more if they just go on a roll.
In the 2 vote category, there are 3 teams. We have Kentucky receiving 2 votes. West Virginia receiving 2 votes. I don't know what you're doing there.
Does Pat McAfee get a vote? What's the fucking deal?
And the other receiving 2 votes, the Arkansas Razorbacks.
It's a little early. Early.
70-0. Just receiving 2 votes.
It's a little early.
In the 3 vote category, we have UTSA and App State both receiving 3 votes.
I feel like they should be getting a little bit more attention, but at the same time, UTSA didn't really do shit against Kennesaw. So
I think App State should be getting a little more love.
Yeah, I think so too.
Receiving 4 votes, you have North Carolina and Tulane.
I don't understand the North Carolina love, especially with Max Johnson out.
Yeah, I don't love it. And Tulane,
okay.
Name brand, maybe, for the G5.
Yeah.
Receiving 8 votes, you have Auburn. Whatever. Fine. Wisconsin, I don't think Wisconsin looked particularly fantastic to be receiving votes, but it's fine.
No.
And Vanderbilt.
All right. They're higher than a lot of teams that were receiving votes that deserve to be receiving votes. So good for Vanderbilt.
Good for Vandy. Good for the Commodores. Receiving 12 votes, Libibity.
Yeah.
20 votes, we have the Washington Huskies.
Okay.
Okay, I didn't really see what happened there.
That's just holdover. That's all that is. That's holdover from last year, those votes.
23 votes, SMU.
Do they deserve it? I'm not sure if they do.
They should be like
Nevada's
fringe.
They should be fringe. And Nevada, I guess Nevada is a little bit better than we were giving them credit for. Yeah, because they rolled in and beat a good Troy team.
Receiving 27 votes, Nebraska Cornhuskers.
How's that make you feel inside?
Scared. I'm honest. I'm honest. Will Nebraska versus Colorado be one of the most watched, like, unranked versus unranked games?
Has to be.
Also receiving 27 votes, Memphis. Quiet. Memphis is quiet right now, but watch out, Memphis.
Just with the way their schedule lines up for them, like they'll be in the top 25 soon.
Oh, Herb was at Florida, Miami this weekend. Nice.
Very nice. Who were you cheering for,
Herb? With 32 votes, Iowa State, by the way.
Okay.
That's fine. Hey, Iowa State had a good... That's also a game that Iowa State in the previous years would have lost to a very good FCS school.
True.
47 votes, Boise State. I think Boise State should be ranked.
I think so, too.
And we're going to be very upset that they're not because we'll see when we get into it. Oh, he's rooting for the Gators. I'm sorry, Herb.
Oof.
But I'm up. Boise State should be ranked. And there's a team that I could easily knock out. Boston College, 49 points.
They deserve it. They absolutely deserve it. They looked good.
Yes, they looked legitimately good. And 97 votes. The fringe of the top 25, it is Texas A&M.
What?
I think they were in the top 25, so they just fell out.
Okay.
So they had the momentum of already being in the top 25.
Yeah, that's fair.
Here's the team I would kick out. At 25, the Clemson Tigers.
I'm not sure if you can kick them all the way out.
They did drop 11 spots, so they were pretty high up.
Yeah.
It's a pretty far fall, but like I'd put Boise there.
Listen, do I think that they deserve to be in the top 25? No, but I think that because of where they got put at the beginning of the season, that they still need another loss to get knocked out completely.
This is also just me. It is maybe listening to too much Colby. This early on in the season, you shouldn't have a loss to be able to be ranked in the top 25. Yeah,
I agree. You shouldn't be 0-1 and in the top 25. Even if you did get your ass handed to you by number 1.
Exactly. Like, this early on in the season, I don't want to see a loss in the top 25. At 24, it's NC State.
We'll see.
I
don't. They kind of deserve to take a big fall, a really big fall.
Yeah, they kind of do. At 23, maybe a little low, but at least they're in. It's Georgia Tech.
Good. They deserve to be ranked.
Damn right.
They've handled their business in 2 straight games, beating a team who was in the top 10, who, regardless of what you think of them now, they were in the top 10 when they beat them.
Yes. 100%.
And they had to go to another country to do it. They deserve to be in the top 25. I'm happy for Georgia Tech.
At 22, it's your ACC darling, Louisville. Good to see
they kicked the shit out of who they were playing. They're going to kick the shit out of a lot of teams.
Yeah,
they
Austin
put up
Peay,
a lot of points.
62-0 against
yeah,
Austin
dude.
Peay.
They put up a lot of points.
At number 21, climbing 4 points, The Iowa Hawkeyes. Climbing up. At 20, going one spot up, it's Arizona. It's the Arizona Wildcats.
I think that's a fair ranking. I think that's about where they should be this season.
At 19, we have Kansas. Maybe a little high, but they'll when they play a real team, we'll see.
We'll see.
I might have Kansas. I might swap them with Georgia Tech at this point.
I think that's fair.
At number 18, falling 5 spots, it is LSU.
Kick them out of the top 25, man.
Again, an 0-1 team, kick them out. But again, 5 spots, they were in the top 15, whatever.
Yeah.
17, Kansas State.
I can't remember what they did this week, but
they beat Tennessee Martin. They beat some FCS school.
So they pretty much stayed where they were. Then.
They went up 1 spot. Oklahoma State at 16.
They pretty much stayed where they were also.
Yeah, they also went up 1 spot. A lot of teams probably raised 1 because we had fallers at FSU, LSU, A&M, and Clemson.
Yeah.
Like Oklahoma went up a spot. Oklahoma's at 15.
Yeah, and they did what they always do is they kick the shit out of bad teams.
Yeah, they kicked the shit out of Temple. At 14, Tennessee. Tennessee's going to be so fun this year. They're going to be so fun.
That's a top 10 team.
That is a top 10 team. Legitimately, with like barring injury, Tennessee is a legit top 10 team. They're going to be so fun.
Yeah.
At 13, we have USC jumping 10 spots. Maybe an overreaction.
It might be an overreaction, but I actually thought that they looked pretty good. They looked pretty damn good. A lot better than I thought they were going to. And them only giving up 20 points.
Huge.
Huge victory.
At number 12, it's Miami. They went up 7 spots.
I think if you go into the swamp and you just
dominate
that ass, you deserve to get that big of a leap.
I think so too. I think if Miami continues to look this good, top 10, maybe even like top 8 team.
Yeah, which will make the fall so much.
The only thing stopping Miami is Mario Cristobal. And maybe some bad throws by Cam Ward. Like I think this team is legitimately good enough to like overcome that though.
Yeah, they've got weapons all over the field.
Mario is the only thing that can bring this team down. I think Cam Ward, they can overcome some of his bad decision making. At number 11, it's Utah. Beat an FCS school, basically stay the same.
Yeah.
Falling a spot in a victory. At number 10, it's Michigan.
Well, they were in a dogfight with Fresno State. It's not going to be the same team. They were ranked in the top 10 because it was a holdover from their national championship. So, I think that maybe like 15-ish is probably where they should be.
I think so too. I think Michigan probably finishes the season probably around like 17, 18. At number 9, it's Missouri. Fine.
They're going to be good.
A lot of this is from teams falling, so these teams just kind of have to take their place. At number 8, no change, it's Penn State. I think Penn State should be a little bit higher.
I would agree. They seem like they should be like a fringe top 5.
Mm-hmm. At number 7, falling 4 spots, it's the Oregon Ducks. I think they maybe should have fallen further. I know they still won.
Yeah. Yeah, make them fall further and earn their spot back.
Agreed. At number 6, no change, it's Ole Miss.
Yeah, they boat race who they're playing against. They're going to boat race bad teams.
Rising 2 spots to the number 5 position, it is Notre Dame.
I think that's fitting. I think that their defense is legit. B, their run game is going to be pretty legit. And C, I think their offensive line is pretty damn studly.
And D, I think Riley Leonard's just going to get better throughout the season.
Me too. Throwing the ball, definitely.
Yep. At number 4, going up 1 spot, is the Alabama Crimson Tide, winning 63-0 over Western Kentucky. Jesus.
That's a pretty tough Western Kentucky team too. So
Alabama's going to be good.
What? Anything less though?
No, I don't think we expected anything less.
I don't expect them to be Georgia, but I expect them to be pretty damn good.
At number 3, it is Texas. The Texas Longhorns.
That sounds about right.
Sounds about right. They look really legitimate. At number 2, Ohio State, no change. And at number 1, Georgia, no change. It really, like, Georgia does look clear and away right now, the number 1. They look so good, dude.
Does Ohio State look like number 2 to you, though?
So I kind of like, it's a mash of like, I'd put Ohio State, Texas, Alabama, Penn State, a bunch of, like, Ole Miss, all, like, together.
Right.
Ohio State's defense is up there with all of these teams.
Right, but it took a
little while.
It took a little while for them to get their footing offensively, and it makes me wonder, like, are they, like, they weren't really, that wasn't Ohio State firing on all cylinders, considering they were 48.5-point favorites.
The thing is, though, it's all on Will Howard because Ohio State has 2 of the best running backs in the conference. A freshman receiver already looks NFL ready. And I just think by the end of this, like, Ohio State's going to be, I think they're the number 2 team. I just think Georgia is the number 1 with a bullet right now.
I would agree.
Moving on now, Chase, to our headlines. First headline, Deion adopts new tack before Nebraska game. He praises Matt Rule. He's doing the kill him with kindness thing.
He's done that a couple times now, hasn't he?
Yeah.
I have absolutely zero qualms with anything that Coach Prime decides to do. Like, I really, as a personality and as a coach, I really like Deion quite a bit.
Yeah, I can agree with that. So here's the quote from Deion. He's like, I have a lot of respect for Matt Rule, Sanders said. He's in what I call our class of coaches. So a bunch of guys who got the job all at the same time. So, like, he said, Deion said, like, him, Matt Rule, Kenny Dillingham in Arizona, and a bunch of other guys. So he's rooting for those guys.
Okay.
Which I wonder if that's a thing. Like, you root for the guys that you, like, became a coach with.
But it's not like it was Matt Rule's first rodeo at being a head coach, you know?
Fair.
Like, if we want to split hairs about it, it was him at Temple, you know? He was in that class.
That's fair. That's also true. I'm excited for this game more than almost any game I've been excited for in a while. I'm just going to say that. I just want to let that out there.
You guys lost to Colorado last year, right?
Yeah, we lost 36-14 to Colorado last year. But remember, it was a game going into half, and Nebraska's offense gave over like 5 turnovers in that game.
Yeah, I think I remember just the group text from this one.
It was disgusting.
Now.
It was disgusting.
Yeah.
From Fox Sports, the playoff rankings for NASCAR for 16 drivers. I just want to say it's number 1's Kyle Larson. They have.
Okay.
Whatever that means for you NASCAR people out there.
Whatever it does. Kyle Larson. Okay.
Denny Hamlin, number 5. These are just names I recognize.
Where's
Chase Elliott, number 8. That's your boy.
I was gonna ask who is the highest ranked Chase? Where's the highest ranked Chase?
Number 8.
Yeah. Okay.
Alex Bowman, which I believe he is the Oklahoma State quarterback, isn't he? No, it's Alan Bowman.
That is, yeah.
CBS Sports Bowl projections. We're just going to go through a couple of them. Actually, these are just their playoffs right now. So they have Georgia, Ohio State, Miami, and Utah for the top 4.
I think Miami and Utah are the 2 that seem to be like
Ohio State.
The only one that seems locked in is Georgia, right?
Yeah, I just don't see anybody beating Georgia.
Yeah. Like, I think Ohio State could easily get upset by somebody. I think that, like I said, it could be a team like Georgia Tech, Louisville, whoever, winning the ACC. Yep. Yeah.
And who knows with the Big 12? The Big 12 is going to be kind of wild, too.
Yeah, Utah, is Cam Rising playing the entire season?
He looked good. He looked real good.
He looked great, but is he going to play the entire season?
For the rest of the playoffs, it's Texas versus Boise State, Penn State versus Notre Dame, which someone has to win that one, Oregon versus Iowa, and Alabama versus Kansas State.
So someone else is giving Iowa playoff love like we were giving them playoff love.
Yeah, who wrote this article? Jerry Palm of CBS Sports is also giving Iowa love.
He saw that 40 points, even though it was an ugly 40 points. There were some of those touchdowns were suspect.
I'm going to say this. It would be very fun to have Notre Dame come to Penn State on December 20th for a playoff game. That would be amazing.
That would be a lot of fun. Or have Penn State come to Notre Dame.
Well, he has Penn State as the 8. So
I know, but
the 9-8. Either way, that'd be very fun.
Either way, yeah.
We're not going to talk about the other bowl games because, frankly, it's bowl games. Who fucking cares? NFL season opener, division winners, league awards, whatever. Chase, I just want your Super Bowl. That's all the NFL talk I want for this show. Your Super Bowl matchup. Here's mine.
Okay.
The Cincinnati Bengals versus the San Francisco 49ers with the 49ers winning. Getting over the hump.
I'm going to go Kansas City, Detroit, with Detroit winning.
I like it. And without further ado, Chase, let's bring in the wheel. It says college football tailgate preseason wheel on it, but don't worry, I switched it over. It is the NFL wheel. I have a wheel with all NFL teams on it. Whatever team this wheel lands on, if they win the Super Bowl, I will get my left nipple pierced.
What? How did you decide the left versus the right?
I think left just seems more convenient for me.
Is it the more sensitive one? Do you have a more sensitive one?
I don't know if I have a more sensitive one.
Well, give it a test. Give him a squeeze.
Ooh, this does feel better. Left feels better.
Okay.
We'll do left.
I mean, you might be in for a world of electricity and sensation if you get this.
Let's see what team we get.
Come on, Kansas City Chiefs. Oh my God, that's not happening.
It is the Tennessee Titans. Yes.
That your nips are safe.
My nips are safe. That's an easy one. So I got Northwestern for college football and the Titans for the NFL. Easy. You're unmarked and nip pierced. I'm living life to the fucking fullest, Chase. It's a great time to be alive. It's full on football season. Are any week 1 games for the NFL that you're excited for?
I mean, Kansas City and Baltimore should be a pretty good one. I'm kind of interested to see Dallas and Cleveland also.
Are you excited to see the Brazil game on Friday?
Not really.
Yeah,
I could care less.
I'm excited for. I think Ravens Chiefs. I'm very excited for.
Is the Thursday night game on Amazon Prime?
Let's see what our friends over at FB Schedules say. No.
It's on ESPN.
NBC Peacock. So it's on NBC, and then the Friday game's just on Peacock.
Okay. Oh, just on Peacock. Oh,
the Friday game is just on Peacock. Green Bay versus Packers Eagles is just on Peacock.
Fuck all that.
Yeah. I did. Oh, we talked about it in Sports Hall, but fucking. What do you think about private equity being able to buy 10% of an NFL team now?
I don't know what it means, and
I think it just means that NFL teams are about to get 10% worse.
That sounds about right. Sounds like once you get finance bros involved,
it just ruins
fucking
everything.
Wearing vests and shit.
I hate it. Week 2 for college.
I'll say, if you've ever watched Industry, have you watched Industry?
No.
On HBO? That's all like finance bros and shit, but it's fucking good. It's really good.
And also, I will say, tune into the college football tailgate. We'll do a little show, a little blurb for Friday, just 3 games, but we will have the big show on Saturday. And then also, the live stream watch along. This week, it will be Colorado versus Nebraska.
What time is that game?
Watch me tear my friggin' life apart. Nebraska. 7:30 p.m. Eastern, so 6:30 our time.
So my game will be good and done by then.
Yeah, Arkansas plays at
11
noon. So yeah, you'll be way done. So it'll be perfect.
Yeah.
You'll roll in from the post game high of Arkansas upsetting Oklahoma State, and get to watch Nebraska dominate Colorado. Or maybe we'll both be sad together. But I'm manifesting positivity for us, Chase.
Let's go. Let's you've said it. Now let it be so.
Let it be so, and you be so to follow that man out of Oaklawn everywhere you can find him. Follow me at XFL Jim everywhere you can find me. Chase, any parting words for the people?
Zip it up and zip it out.
Damn right, boy. Let's go. Enjoy football, everyone. Love you. Bye-bye. See you next time.